what are some things that you think would be really meaningful and pivotal moves you would make, or maybe changes, things you would do differently after doing this for 11 years?
I would change everything, because Entrepreneurs on Fire launching in 2023, 2024 and beyond does not work, because it's a different world. I was very lucky with that when I launched in 2012, podcasts had just started to come into the consciousness of a decent amount of people. And I caught that upswing at the right time, and I got enough momentum and a lead on the rest of my competition that I've just never relinquished it. So if I had to start from scratch, it would be a completely different ballgame. I wouldn't launch a vague, broad podcast that just interviews entrepreneurs 7 days a week. Just wouldn't work. But what I would do is go back to the basics, and that's where the common path to uncommon success comes in. I would say, let me go down the 17-step roadmap to financial freedom and fulfillment, because I want to get back there. I'm at step 1. What is a big idea? Then I would go into step 2. What is a niche within this big idea that I really, really think is an opportunity? And then number 3, let's start talking about who my perfect avatar is, the listener, the consumer of my content, of my product, of my service, and get to know that individual. And just those first 3 steps would really set me up for the next 3 to 6 months of building that out. Maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's a TikTok show, maybe it's just a YouTube channel, maybe it's any number of things. Maybe it's a physical product, maybe it's a SaaS idea. Like, I would go through that process, and that's how I would completely wipe the slate clean and say, hey, if Entrepreneurs on Fire imploded and none of it existed, I would start completely from scratch with that mentality in mind.
So that's interesting. So essentially what you're saying, or for what I'm hearing you saying, correct me if I'm wrong, is that if you had to reapproach your entire life and establish new footing in a new business, you actually wouldn't do the same method you did with Entrepreneurs on Fire. The reason you feel it works is because you have such long-standing brand dominance or category dominance that it continues to, the momentum of it keeps itself going. But you're saying that you feel that there's, if somebody were to start from scratch, better or easier ways to get started than how you did.
Absolutely. Different times call for different measures.